and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be going over everything I sold at my last markets of the year. It was at Beasley Farms. I did both days, the Saturday and the Sunday. And at the time I recorded the everything I made for it video, I was calling it my last market. But then I learned a couple of days after the market that I actually was supposed to have one the following weekend as well. Thankfully, kinda-ish. That one got canceled. Not that I sold a lot, because December, it was fine. But it was not anywhere near what October was. And I think, if I recall, November was better also, too. So yeah, I'm just not super disappointed that it got canceled, especially because I totally spaced on even having a market. So I had like a couple of days where I didn't do anything and then realized I had a market, so I should have been like market prepping the whole time, and it was like a whole thing. But I market prepped for like a day before I realized it was canceled, and like, thank gosh. Anywho, I also just got done recording a video for a market recap from October, because I either lost the video or never recorded the video. So after this video, all my market recaps should be totally done. And then I do have to re-film, though it's more voiceover, a video, because I'm having like issues with my little headphones, and I'm trying to charge it, see if it helps. But these are the headphones I use, and I've been using this whole time and never had any sort of issue. Now all of a sudden I have an issue. This part right here plugs into the charger port on my phone, and then I can use either one of these to like clip to my shirt. And yeah, so either they were dying, and when I would start my videos they would be connected because there's a little green light and it's fine. And then there's been a couple of times where I've not noticed the green light starts blinking, and when that happens the audio totally like stops for the entire video, and then it's no longer picking up any audio whatsoever. So I have a couple of videos that I've recorded that have no audio. It's almost like that's important. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. You guys didn't really need to know that, but I just felt like mentioning that. So in this video, we're gonna be recapping. I'm just gonna kind of fly through this pretty quick. Use these. I've put like a heavy emphasis on my last few videos that are like market recaps for like, noting these as like best sellers. Because now that we're toward the end of the year, I can pretty solidly say that I would consider the vast majority of these like bestsellers, and they're going to continue to like stay on the roster for upcoming markets because they've just been good the whole time. So in my last video, I mentioned that I had sold pot mushrooms. I had sold like 3 of them, and I at the time was selling them for $13, but this time I had sold them for $15, and I sold 5 at that $15 price point. That's the cable and canvas pot mushroom pattern. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I sold 4 chickens. That's the Mabel the chicken, Oak and Meadow from Etsy. I sold 4 of those. They were sold for $15, I believe. Yeah. 3 large bees for $12 each. That is made using jumbo yarn, but it's my bee pattern, which I'll link right here. 10 out of 10 would recommend it because it's consistently done good. I also have my bees in the market at Beasley Farms, and I completely sold out from like my stock that I had put in last time. So in addition to what I made, I also picked up $144, I think. There wasn't a ton in it, but I like had sold out from like when I stocked last. So yeah, that doesn't hurt. And I pretty much, sometimes I'll throw in somebody else's bee pattern because I like to do like a rainbow bee here and there. But for the most part, I use a lot of my own bee patterns for, well, I use my own bee pattern, but different variations of it to like stock that stuff. So it's basically all that to say, consistently been good, and it's a free pattern. So yeah, doesn't hurt. Another free pattern, not by me, the All From Jade Mini Octo pattern. I have sold 2 of those in regular yarn for $5 each. Oh, new to my markets this time, I did a positive potato and an emotional support pickle, 3 of each, and I actually sold 2 of the 3 of each that I brought. So I did the positive potatoes for $12 each. They like whip up super fast, and I print the cards on cardstock paper, which I happen to already have on hand, and cut them out and like hot glued them on. Emotional support pickles I did for, I believe they were 18 each. Just because the size difference from the potato, it was pretty significant. Yeah, 36 divided by 2. Yeah, 18. Again, I printed the cards on my printer. I used cardstock paper, hot glued them right on. Got a lot of compliments, so 10 out of 10 recommend those. Any type of mystery bags since I introduced them have consistently done good. I sold 2 $10 mystery bags. I do say in the everything I made for my market video, which I'll link here for this video, the live video for this market, I do show you and tell you everything I put in my mystery bags. So if you want to see them, look right here. Once again, I categorize my keychains by price, and I don't have the mental fortitude to be able to remember what I made. Well, I do remember some of it. 2 $8 keychains. Those are my bee pattern made into keychains. So what I do is in Parfait Chunky, 1 stranded, I'll make the bee and I'll sell it for $6. In Parfait Chunky, 1 stranded, I'll make the bee pattern, add a keychain, and sell it for $8. I've got like a master Google Doc linked below with almost all these patterns. I do have to update it, so like if you guys notice that it's not updated, I'm gonna get to that, and I'm so sorry, I suck. But there's also another master Google Doc that has like everything that I use for my markets, all the things, pretty much everything I've ever bought for my crochet business. So the keychains I use are on there also. And I've done a little better, I think, with them cheap plastic keychains than I have with the metal version. So if you like the look of the cheap plastic keychains, I guess here's your sign to not worry about the quality. I've never had them break, but I just naturally something that's plastic isn't going to be as good as something that's metal. But aesthetically, they're a lot better, and people seem to like them. So I started selling more keychains once I switched to that style of keychain. But yeah, so in Parfait Chunky, added a keychain. I sold those for $8. Then in Bernat Blanket, same pattern, I sold those for $10. And then in Weight 7 yarn, same pattern, I sold those for $12. And that's like how I do all my bees. So I sold 2 bee keychains for $8 each. I sold 2 $10 keychains. What were the $10 keychains? I don't remember. So sorry. I really suck. I can't even think of other keychains I had. So we'll just move on. I sold a scrunchie for $5. I sold a baby rattle for $15. I sold a spider plushie, the first ever spider plushie I ever did. I wanted to make it cute though, so I used that like red and white speckled, and then I have like fuzzy yarn, not like Bernat Blanket fuzzy, but like actual like hair fuzzy yarn in pink. And so I did little face pincher things. I don't know the anatomy of a spider, but I did the fuzzy part in pink, and then the body was like red and white, which this is kind of like a muted red, so it kind of looks pinkish. So it's really cute. Got a lot of compliments. Sold it for $20. Not a no-sew pattern though. Sold a possum for $15. That is Crochet by Jenna's possum pattern. Sold an All From Jade plush octo for $9. I sold a mini penguin. This is my first time using this mini penguin pattern for $12. Sold a Katie Bean Creative mini frog for $6. Oh, sold one of my mini bees, which would be in Parfait Chunky, for $6. Sold one of my medium bees, which would be the same pattern but in Bernat Blanket, for $10. I sold, whose whale pattern? All From Jade. I think it's All From Jade's new whale pack. So it's like, I got a pack that's like a 3-pack, like whales and sharks, and she tells you the modification to do like orca whale, and there's like a small, medium, and large version of each pattern. So the large I sold for $15, and I don't remember what color that was, so that's my bad. I sold a dinosaur for $25. Oh, that was my dinosaur pattern that is on my Etsy. I have not done a tutorial for that one, but that'd be like linked in that pattern pack. But this dinosaur, I used Bernat Blanket, but I've wanted to experiment at the time with holding Bernat Blanket double to see what it makes. I don't think I'll ever do that again, but I did sell the dinosaur I made doing that. So it was like a pretty hefty sized dinosaur. Yeah, and I had felt eyes on it. And I, if you guys did not know, also sell felt eyes now on my Etsy, which I guess I'll put like a link directly to my Etsy below too. If you guys want felt eyes, I get a ton of compliments on the felt eyes, though I won't recommend you doing only felt eyes because I still have customers. I do get the random person that comes in that prefers the basic black safety eyes. So I just kind of mix it up. If it's something like a person, I really like the felt eyes because they have a lot of personality, which works nice on a person type plushie. I did it on the dinosaurs, like a dinosaur character, so it's cool. But something simple like a little octo, I don't think it really benefits fully from having felt eyes, so I still keep things simple and do the black ones. And then occasionally just did a Yeti, and I did my Yeti with just black eyes. I felt like it looked better. So use that to inform your decision on whether you do felt eyes or not. But I do, overwhelmingly, from the majority of people, get compliments on the felt eyes. People think they're super clever, and me too. I'm sad I did not think of the idea, but I'm happy I got on that board, that train of making them, because they're cute. I also sold another dinosaur, not my dinosaur pattern. It's like this stackable, prehistoric stackables. I think that's Meg Makes Crochet, but I can't remember. Oh, I got a custom order for a schnauzer. This lady's also a vendor. And at this area, this place, it's kind of, you don't have to. There's no rule about it. But it's expected, I feel like, that you give other vendors a discount on things. So I did discount my custom order, and I'm going to make her a plushie for $40 when normally it would be a pretty good amount higher. But this is a nice older lady, so like I don't have an issue with doing that. And it's not like a rule, but it also feels like a faux pas if you don't. So, you know, do with that what you will. I sold a baby leggy frog for $10. Oh, I did give somebody, it was a kid, he only had $5, and he really liked the Kitty Being Creative mini frogs. So instead of selling it to him for $6, because he only had $5, I did discount his frog. And I sold it to him for $5. I sold one $20 keychain. Oh, the turtle. I do remember that. That was a turtle. Oh, because that was some drama. So I'm kind of opinionated, but I have a good customer service personality, so I don't have any issues going out in public to markets. Never got into it with a customer or anything, just to set the tone. But what had happened was, I sell primarily to children. So on occasion, I get a child that does not like hearing the word no. They're kids, it happens, and a small tantrum will ensue. And I don't mind. The parent obviously is not feeling great about it. So usually I try to redirect, because most of the time parent, if they know they're not going to buy anything, they just don't bring their kids in. So usually if I get them to come in, for the most part I make a sale. So I was trying to redirect to more budget friendly things, because the thing this kid wanted was on the upper side of my price range. So mom's trying to redirect. And another vendor next to me, actual vendor, not a customer in this vendor's booth, is basically talking on this mother for not being able to control her child in a way that, even though my walls were up, I do have window walls, so there's a clear spot. But even though my windows were up, my walls were up, and that does give some type of noise insulation, this mother was able to hear it. So I'm in the middle of trying to make a sale and chill this kid out. And I've got the vendor, an adult female, next to me. Her whole spiel was that she was 64 and doesn't have wrinkles because she was selling skin cream. She's just talking shit openly on this lady who's in my booth. So the lady in my booth was like, why don't you not? He's only 5. And I do feel like technically 5, you should be a little better in control of your emotions, but who knows? This kid could have been up late the day before. He could have been neurodivergent. You don't know. Why are you judging somebody else's kid? And why are you an adult in a professional setting talking crap on somebody else's customer? What are you doing? It was fracking outrageous. But I do remember that this lady, not only did I make a sale in that moment because I had to turn and my vendor next to me that was being rude and she needed to stop. So not only did I make a sale in that moment, probably because I defended her rightfully, what are you doing? She actually came back and bought something else for me a second time. So, like, it didn't harm me, but I also am not trying to be super confrontational in person in basically my place of business. So I didn't love that I had to defend her, but I also, like, couldn't foresee just sitting there and letting this lady talk trash, because, like, why are you doing that? So then, after the event, I had to text Joanne. I'd, like, ruminated on this for a while, but, like, if this lady... I was in my usual spot, and this lady said she was in her usual spot, but I don't recall seeing her. But throughout the holiday season, I've been put in a couple of different spots as, like, a fill-in after people, like, have missed the event, because she likes to fill toward the front, so it's not, like, empty, 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 and then vendors. So maybe I've just, like, on weekends that she's there, been somewhere else. But for the most part, I was in my regular spot, second row, right toward the end. I'm usually by a lady who does jelly across from a lady who does candles. It's a good old time. We have a nice time back there. But yeah, I ruminated on it, whether I was going to say anything or just let it go. But I decided I was just like, game older version. I would like to never be by that vendor ever again, if we could do that. I don't want to be inconvenienced, so if we can't, it's totally fine. Long version, if you want to know why, she was talking trash about one of my customers openly to where they could hear it. Why are we doing this? I still don't understand. Which, by default, is one of Joanne's customers, too, because I've seen this lady and her kids before, and they've, like, never acted badly, so that's why I think, even though 5 is... It can be a little late for the level of tantrum he was throwing, because he was, like, 5, he seemed like not a new 5. Kids are kids anyway. They don't have full control over their emotions and rationalization, but given that I've seen him before and it's been fine, I really just think this kid was having an off day, and I promise you, as somebody whose kids on occasion throw tantrums in public, because I have 3, the parent is more stressed out and, like, embarrassed than you are, and more annoyed than you are, so why are we saying anything? Sorry, I'm just, like, heated about it, because I just can't fathom how anybody would think that was okay, especially in the environment we were in. Insane. But a long story longer, she bought a $20 turtle. I don't remember what she came back and bought, but I do remember initially she bought a $20 turtle. So I sold in total that day, or that weekend, 42 items for a total of 570. So if you watched my October video, that'll probably be up after this, so you probably haven't watched it yet. I say that, like, I referenced December not being, like, super strong month, and this is why. Because 570 in a weekend, not terrible, but it just wasn't that good considering I had one less day of events in October, and in October I made $2,200. So, like, even if you cut that in half, I don't know why you'd cut it in half, but if you cut it into thirds, still, I'm, like, way under what I should be compared to that. So it just wasn't great. I don't know. It was fine. 570 is definitely worth going for. I just had higher expectations because everybody talked up December was gonna, like, blow me away, and it didn't. But I did learn a lot this market season, and I did, I think, well, considering I had 12 markets running from September to now. So September, November, December. So in about 3 months, I did 9 markets, and it was supposed to be 10 because I was supposed to have one more, but that got canceled, so I didn't. But for having kids and YouTube, which I did pretty well most of the time through all that, for the most part, I think I did pretty well, is all I'm saying. And I do want to, I was saying this in the video that I recorded before this, which will probably go up after this, or maybe it won't. I don't know what I'm doing. I think you guys have realized I'm like a YouTuber at this point. I do want to go through my Square and see if I can get a report of everything I crocheted or everything I sold, so I can actually make a solid list of my best sellers for the year. I do pretty much know them off the top of my head, but I still want to, like, go through and see, because a couple of times I've, like, not had an item out of market, so I've deleted it out of my Square only to have it the next time and re-add it. So I know everything's not going to come up like, okay, you had 30 of these sell in total. It's going to be broken up, you know what I'm saying? So that's a video I want to do. I also want to do my goals for 2023. Nope. 2024. That's partially to have like on record for myself to see if I like fulfill those. But I also think like as a community, we've got such a strong connection because of this thing we all love, crochet. So I think it'd be cool to like discuss that with you guys. And a lot of you guys are like parents and grandparents, so you might have some of the same type of like personal goals I have too. So I just think we should talk about it together and maybe even give each other ideas. So that's a video I want to do, and then I really want to do a Q&A either right at the end of this year or going into the beginning of the year. Just have like a casual sit down, let's chat video. And I wanted to ask your guys' opinion. So if you're still here, I am gonna take a trip right at the end of December into January, family trip. But I wanted to know, even if it wasn't crochet related, if you guys wanted to see some footage from the trip. And yeah, so let me know. And if you'd like more crochet content, you can check out this video right here. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.